Hi, so for journal number 13, I'm going to focus on um, the second question. What do you think of when you hear the word mysticism? How does it relate to the idea found in the reference article on mysticism? What surprised you, and what are specific qualities of Christian mysticism? A lot of mysticism in that question. So, originally, I thought mysticism, like when I think about it, I think of kind of like meditation um, and like connecting with God in a way or, some higher power. And honestly, I didn't really think of it as a very Christian thing. Like I thought it was more of I don't know if this makes sense, like a spiritual thing, like someone who, like in the article, talked about like it was, I don't know if it was popular with paganism or it was like mysticism started being associated with paganism. That's kind of how I thought, not necessarily paganism, but kind of like not Christian, I guess. Um, Anyways, so what it actually is, I believe, um, or like the idea that I found in the article that made the most sense. Because what's weird about the article is that I feel like it talks about a lot of different definitions of mysticism, but the one that's first used, like when mysticism was first like introduced, I guess, it has to do with symbols and rituals leading us to God, to a real union with him in the truly mystic darkness of unknowing. Um, that kind of has to do with, I think, meditation in a way and like thinking about God. But then also, it says, mysticism does not just persuade us, it acts on us, submitting us to the effects of the church's rites. We undergo divine things. So I think that also has to do with like meditation and thinking about God in a certain way that you connect with him, maybe? I don't know, but, moving on to the next question, kinda what surprised me was the different definitions, that they had in there. I thought this article, it's only 2 pages long. I thought it was gonna be very clear, like, what it was, but honestly, I'm still a little confused about the right definition. Maybe there's a bunch of definitions, and that's what the last question is talking about Christian mysticism. But anyways, the one quote where it says, there's a lot of like debate since the 17th century. There's been a lot of debate among theologians as to whether mysticism is to be regarded as the normal flowering of sanctifying grace and principle open to all Christians, or whether it should be seen as a special grace reserved for the few. And that's kind of what I guess surprised me is that no one really has like I said, no one has like a clear definition of it. Um, so then regarding the last question about Christian mysticism, I think what best fits that is this late medieval writers stressed that the height of the Christian life could be understood only by experience, and mystical theology was increasingly taken to mean an experiential knowledge of God. Um, and then also the part about um, not knowing the debate among what mysticism is, I think also relates to Christian mysticism because, um, because like, what is it defined as in Christian mysticism? Or does that make sense? Is it open to all Christians or is it reserved for the few? And I think mentioning that debate is an important part of the definition or the specific qualities of Christian mysticism. The specific quality is that there isn't a clear definition, I think, or that that theologians are still debating what exactly it looks like. Um, and other than that, I think it is about connecting with God in a way. Um, Mystical theology imparts a special kind of knowledge of God, not attainable by ordinary intellectual operations. So it's it's a process. It's, like I said earlier, it has to do with symbols and ritual and to create a union with God, I think.